Welcome to another vlog, and you should really follow me on Instagram, Wolf of Dubai Danny, because I get so many messages. This is a shout out to Fernando, who actually wrote me day before yesterday and wrote me, hey, you know what, there is the SpaceX travel into space of 4 civilians, something very similar what actually Virgin Galactic is doing. Why not compare the experiences? And I thought like, wow, this is a really interesting idea, and it seems that many of you guys are interested, because it seemed that the launch of SpaceX gave also Virgin Galactic a little push, even when it was just during the day of shy 2.43%, and now at the market cap of 6.3 compared to some kind of crazy number at SpaceX at $80 billion, obviously because SpaceX is much more evolved and making business on a regular basis. But you can see what is possible here, and I really recommend, guys, if you want to experience this space experience and what it means, not only for the people who are doing this, but also for the humanity, and Elon Musk is also in this, check out the Countdown documentary on Netflix, where they are, following all 4 astronauts, the story behind each of them, what they are doing on board, how difficult it is, how the training looks like, and so on. So with that said, let's dive into a comparison that I did for the experience of Virgin Galactic and SpaceX, both sending civilians up into space, private missions that people paid for. Let's go. And here it is, the comparison between SpaceX and space. Obviously, SpaceX has a non-ticker because they are not a public company yet. Apparently, Elon Musk is talking about to bring Starlink, a project within SpaceX, to the stock market. With that said, let's dive directly to the obvious one, the price. It is rumored, not confirmed, but rumored that the SpaceX Inspiring 4, whatever they are calling it, is costing about $200 million. Well, that's a pretty hefty price tag, okay? If you're considering there are 4 people on this flight, that means that every one of them would pay $50 million, okay? On the other side, you have Virgin Galactic with a seat price of $400,000. Okay, so big difference here. But to really compare it, you need to understand, okay, what is the duration of it, right? What is the experience, the duration, just in time? Because obviously you can say, oh, it's better to fly on a Dragon capsule, it's better to fly on a spaceship too. That's pretty much subjective. But what is the real time and what is the price per minute if you are going for it? So duration of SpaceX is about 3 days. The whole start to finish is about 3 days versus the Virgin Galactic experience, with starting point, with acceleration up into the right high of 50,000 feet and so on and so forth. And then the few minutes up into microgravity and then back is about, I would say, around 2 hours. Okay, so now we take the price, 50 million on the SpaceX side and 400,000 on the Virgin Galactic side, divided by the minutes that they are spending on the whole trip from start, from liftoff till landing, then I have an approximate price per minute at SpaceX at $11,574 versus $3,333 at Virgin Galactic. So you are saving like 3/4 of the price if you fly with Virgin Galactic. And then, you have the preparation, okay? So I watched the 3 episodes already of the documentary on Netflix, so I know what's going on behind the scenes. And actually it's quite interesting because the preparation for the inspiration flight was about a couple of weeks, okay? So they met already when the launch date was still 150 days away. So very huge preparation time here. And versus Virgin Galactic, you are spending about 3-4 days at the Spaceport America and you are good to go. So if you compare it, it's more like an in and out with Virgin Galactic, and you are there, you did your experience, versus the whole massive astronaut training that you have to do with the Dragon capsule with SpaceX. And it's obviously logical, okay? Because you have to imagine that, this is a much longer duration. You have to do much more stuff. It's autonomous capsule, but in case something happened, you have to take control of it, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things to consider here, and it's just the whole procedure is totally different. You don't have a pilot on board. You are the pilot in this sense, and then you have obviously the location. So Kennedy Spaceport is one of the most amazing things. If you are ever in Florida, go to this Kennedy Spaceport. It's such an amazing experience. Take a tour. You go with the bus, and there's a cool guy explaining everything. So if you're interested into space industry, then do this. This is an absolutely must, okay? Versus this dedicated spaceport at Virgin Galactic, which is quite interesting as well. And obviously, perfectly made for the experience around Virgin Galactic. The spaceport was built just for that. So let's talk about the height, because this was the kind of discussion for many weeks, specifically by Blue Origin, when they said, no, the Karma line is around 100 kilometers and Virgin Galactic flies only 85 kilometers. Well, it's in the end of the day, I feel like the FAA approved astronauts at this height. Okay, so the nice thing about the height of SpaceX, you can actually say, oh, I flew higher than the International Space Station, which was like they're showing one meeting in the documentary where Isaacman says, no, let's fly above the International Space Station. If we're doing this already, let's do it like proper way, and let's blow everyone's mind, This is what I really liked about him as well. Other than that, so you see here, it's a huge difference about the height. You really fly into orbit with SpaceX, 0G gravity versus microgravity. I don't know if there's a big influence on the body when you are 3 days in 0G, but definitely from the health perspective, the in and out of Virgin Galactic could be a little bit more healthier as well on your body. But on the other side, if you want to have the huge experience 3 days, then it's definitely more worth to go into orbit with SpaceX. But if you are willing to pay 4 times the price per minute in this case. So if you're going further, what is the onboard experience? Okay, so onboard experience at SpaceX is actually, they're doing real research missions, so they're actually working as well for SpaceX, which is quite interesting. They have the 0G experience and the whole astronaut experience, being the captain of the whole capsule, versus the Virgin Galactic experience is obviously, the preparation as well, versus SpaceX has a bigger preparation. I don't know how much of that was done for the documentary on Netflix and how much is really necessary, but the two big things is obviously, you have a Earth view, which we have also with the SpaceX obviously, but SpaceX much broader view. You see the whole Earth versus the Earth curve, the horizon on the Earth on a Virgin Galactic flight. So, and you have obviously also the microgravity versus the 0G. Again, I don't know how much different this really makes. And finally, are you officially an astronaut by a governmental entity, by the FAA? And both is obviously a huge yes. So let's dive into the conclusion of today's video. Okay, so summarize, obviously this is two totally different experiences, okay? In the end of the day, it depends on what you really like as a client, okay? So first of all, there's a huge hurdle with the overall price of SpaceX, okay? I mean, you need to be really a multi-millionaire or a billionaire to fly with SpaceX, considering the price. And if you are just want to have the experience being astronauts, experience zero gravity or microgravity, then Virgin Galactic is totally nice to go. And if you remember, what is the end goal of those companies to make it more affordable, right? So Virgin Galactic is much closer to that than SpaceX. What SpaceX would need to do to really make it more affordable, we're not talking about 10x, we are talking about 100x more expensive than Virgin Galactic. So they need to build huge rockets with hundreds of people to have the same price of Virgin Galactic, or build smaller rockets. But if you're considering the whole mission of SpaceX to make life planetary, they have totally different kind of experiences in the future, as well as visions for humanity. They want to make really humanity a multi-planetary species, versus Virgin Galactic making this for entertainment purposes, for revenue purposes, and then growing up from there. So very similar to Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos did something very intelligent. They are making now this for entertainment purposes, where they say, okay, let's do that, and let us learn. With every flight they will learn something new. And I think this is the point of this story, that Virgin Galactic is such a great company if you're considering that, and they are doing much things right. And I just think it's just a matter of time. A year from now we will laugh that the stock was at 25. This is a multi-billion-dollar company for sure. I'm standing behind that with huge amount of my portfolio. So let me know in the comments below what you think.